You guys, the grand final is tomorrow, and I was planning on not making any more videos because I'm pretty busy, but we've got a lot to talk about, so let's go! Hi, welcome back to my channel. My name is Gavin, and for the ones who don't know me, I am a music student at the University of Amsterdam, and I make videos here on YouTube. I do want to remind you that yesterday I uploaded one of my favorite videos so far. It was with one of my university professors, Dr. Ashley Burgogne, and we talked about his algorithm to predict Eurovision. And we both predicted our top 5. It's a super fun video to watch. The results are interesting, to say the least. So if you haven't checked that out, definitely do so after this video. And then now I want to get right into discussing the running order. I just thought I'd go from first to last and discuss every country that's on there. Before I do that though, I do want to mention that this is such a strong year. I mean, look at this. This list is amazing. The quality of songs and the quality of performances in the grand final this year is out of this roof. I am sad though for a few countries that didn't qualify. For example, Albina from Croatia really deserved to be in the final. Same with Austria, Vincent Bueno. And Denmark I thought was really fun yesterday, but yeah, the quality of songs is just so high that it was really hard for countries to qualify this year. And I think this list that we got here is super good. I do have the feeling that it is a bit awkward that some of the big 5 countries are there. For example, the United Kingdom, I saw their performance. It wasn't really that good. Also, maybe Spain was a bit underwhelming, and I would have wanted to swap some of them for some of the countries that didn't qualify. But they paid the most amount of money, and maybe that's fair, I don't know. Well, anyway, let's quickly go through all of these countries. And I do want to say that I don't have a lot of time today, so I won't be making like a fancy edit with all the performances edited throughout the video like I normally do. So I'm sorry about that. I hope the video is still fun to watch. And then I saw that Cyprus is opening this grand final. It's a bit shady towards Cyprus, to be honest, because I thought they would have been somewhere in the middle actually. But awesome show opener. I think people are going to be interested to watch this the minute it comes on. I thought her performance in the first semi-final was fire, literally. She sounded really good too. I was pretty surprised. The dancing was awesome. Awesome show opener. And then Albania, second. I mean, weren't they second in the grand final in 2019 as well? That's also pretty shady of the producers, to be honest. I think Angela had an amazing performance last night, and she deserves more than that. But I hope she can get a good result from second position, because she would really deserve it. Her performance, her vocal abilities yesterday, chef's kiss. I mean, that was just everything. And then Israel, Eden Alena. I'm really glad she qualified Tuesday. I think that whistle note really carried her through to the final, and she deserves to be here. Third spot isn't amazing for her. But I mean, she'll do okay. I don't think she'll climb up that leaderboard. I think the other songs in this grand final are just too strong. But still really fun to have her in the final. And then Belgium, 4th place. I think that means that they didn't do that well in the first semi-final. I do think that they will stand out between Israel and I saw Russia in 5th. So yeah, I think it's gonna be a surprise where Belgium will end up actually. And then Russia at 5th place. I saw that Russia was 15th at the bookmakers. To win, I think they have a much bigger chance. Being 5th in the running order does shorten their chances a little bit, but gosh, that performance. Manisha was amazing, and I think Russia deserves to be in the top 5 this year. But that's just my opinion. I mean, who am I to say? And then 6th is Malta. That really surprises me actually. I would have thought Malta would be at the end of the first half. Maybe that means she didn't win her semi-final. I don't know. I still think it's a good position for her after Russia before Portugal. I hope Russia doesn't overshine. Malta in some way, if you know what I mean. And then Portugal comes after, such a quality entry. One of the most big surprises this year. I mean, the staging was amazing from the Black Mamba. I saw they rocketed up at the bookies. I think they're now 8th to win the entire thing. But I mean, I don't think Malta has had a pretty good position here. I think she really has to fight, and I think she still can get that top 5 result. But Russia or Malta, I'm gonna give it to Russia actually, but that's just me. And yeah, Portugal, I love it, especially between Malta and Serbia. Portugal is gonna really shine, I think, in the grand final and get a really good result, and I'm glad for them because the song is super good. The staging really elevates it. And yeah, I love it. Serbia then. I hated the song when Eurovision started, but I am beginning to love it a little bit. I was dancing along at the performance last night. I think Hurricane killed it. The dancing was super fun to watch. So yeah, this was an amazing show. Then the United Kingdom, I think they are gonna be somewhere around the bottom of the scoreboard in the end. I really hope that this was gonna do well because I love the studio cut of this song, but the live performance just doesn't do it for me, unfortunately. And then being followed up by Greece, I see, no, that's just not gonna do it. So sad for them. Well, anyways, Switzerland is next. I mean, Switzerland won the second semi-final. Can we be clear about that? That performance was the only performance last night that gave me goosebumps. I wanted to cry actually watching it. It was just beautiful. He performed the song like no other, and I even thought that it was better than Arcade 2 years ago. So yeah, I am putting my bets on Switzerland to win the entire thing in the end. Or France. I think it's going to be between those two countries. But Switzerland is amazing. And then Iceland comes after. I think the placement here in the grand final, 12th near the end of the first half, really does them well. That means that they did really well in the second semi-final. And I think they are going to get a top 10 result this year. I really wish they could have performed in the grand final. It's so sad and heartbreaking. But yeah, they still are gonna do pretty well, and they're a fan favorite. So, and then Spain comes after. Yeah, I thought the Spanish song was actually quite beautiful. Blas sings it really good, but it just fades away into the background a little bit. Unfortunately, I would have wished that Spain popped out a bit more, but I just don't think this is gonna cut it this year for them. I really wanted Blas to do well, but what else is there to say? And then opening the second half is Moldova, a surprise qualifier if you ask me. I thought Moldova was going to be out after seeing her performance last night. I thought Denmark was going to take their spot because it was just so fun to watch. But I'm glad she is there. I mean, her dancing, I watched this with Dylan, we both laughed our asses off watching her dance. That it was just everything. So I think that really carried her through to the final. And then Germany comes after. I don't think Germany is going to do that well too. Yeah, I think the performance is fun. Jendrik is amazing. Have you seen that look lab he did with Nikki? So funny. One of my favorite look labs or interviews this year. He's amazing. The song is just a bit lackluster, I think. And then Finland comes after. I think they're gonna blow everyone away with their performance. I'm glad they didn't put Finland and Italy after each other. They would have really cancelled each other out. But now Finland is in between Germany and Bulgaria. So that's gonna really help them, I think. And then Bulgaria is right after that. I mean, Victoria gave an amazing performance last night. She sounded really good, actually. Her vocals were awesome. So yeah, I have no doubt that she will do really well. And then, oh my god, the countries following up Bulgaria, this is like a part with only favorites. I mean, you have Finland, Bulgaria, Lithuania, Ukraine, and then France, and then Azerbaijan. How are we going to choose between these? I think, standout is still Ukraine. I think they're gonna do really well, but Lithuania as well, and then France has also a really good spot after Ukraine. Those couldn't be two more different songs after each other, and I think that is gonna help them both get a really good result in the end. And then the most funny thing happened. The producers put Effendi and Tix right after each other. I think that's amazing. That's the reason I love Eurovision. The producers just do this kind of stuff to mess with us a little bit. That's gonna be awesome. They can high five each other when Effendi comes off stage and Norway Tix gets on stage. I do think Tix is in a pretty tricky position near the end. But I think he's gonna be a fan favorite. He's gonna get a lot of televotes, and so is Azerbaijan. So, gosh, this part of the grand final is just killing me. I don't know which countries of these are gonna do well and which are not. I want them all in the top 5 actually. Yeah, and then the Netherlands. I mean, that performance is beautiful. Django performed this so well. The dancers too are amazing. But just between Norway and Italy, I don't know how this is gonna go. I don't think the Netherlands is gonna come last. I am sure it's not gonna happen. I think this is gonna get a lot of jury votes. But it's not gonna be at the top of the scoreboard in the end, unfortunately. But I think it's an amazing entry from Django and he can be proud of himself. And then Italy after the Netherlands is gonna be a showstopper, I'm sure. I still don't think Italy is gonna win in the end, but it is an amazing performance and I can see a top 5 or top 3 for them actually. And then following up Italy is Sweden. I think that's a pretty tricky position for Tusse. I don't think he's gonna shine in that position, especially being between Italy and San Marino. Yeah, I think Sweden is gonna get their worst result in the past few years. I don't think Sweden is gonna get top 10 with this. I love him, I love the song. It's one of my personal favorites, but I don't think this is gonna do really well in the final. And then closing the final, one of my favorite acts from the second semi-final, San Marino. The addition of Flo Rida was such a great idea. He had really elevated this song. He let Senhit shine. The performance, the stage, it looked just amazing. And I wouldn't be surprised, I'm calling it now, that San Marino is gonna win the televote in the end. Because this is in the last place. This is gonna shine. People are gonna remember this. People are gonna be having a few drinks and are gonna be dancing in the end. This is gonna be amazing. I think this is gonna be one of the best grand finals we've had in a really, really long time. I think the only songs I think that are just not up to par to the rest of them are the UK, Spain, Germany and maybe Moldova. But those are the only 4 out of 26. Like, I have 22 countries that I want in the top 10. So this is gonna be heartbreaking to watch in the end, but it's gonna be so fun to watch. I'm gonna have a little party here with some friends and family, so that's gonna be super fun to see their opinions and reactions to all the songs. And yeah, definitely my favorites in this final, in no particular order, are Russia, Switzerland for sure, Bulgaria, Ukraine, France, Azerbaijan, Italy and San Marino. And I think Switzerland is gonna win the jury vote, San Marino is gonna win the televote, and Switzerland will win the entire thing in the end. That's my prediction. I am not sure if I'm gonna be right. It's also just my humble opinion. I'm also really curious what you think. So definitely let me know in the comments down below what you think of the running order. What do you think of the qualifiers and who do you think is gonna end up in that top 10 and end up winning actually. So let me know. And also don't forget to subscribe if you haven't already. It's super fun here on my channel and I am going to be uploading more Eurovision content in the upcoming weeks just to keep the Eurovision spirit alive and don't drown in that post-Eurovision depression as we all do. And then for now, leave the video a like if you've liked what you've seen. Enjoy the show tomorrow and I'll see you in the next video. Bye bye!